Hey fam, Semaj here. So yeah, last episode I got started on the topic of change, what makes it so important and why we fear it. Then I got a request to stay on the fear topic, so we will. And then I was challenged. I was challenged to change something myself. The fear in me rose up and said, how you going to change something that ain't working yet? So I literally said to fear, who said it ain't working? And maybe that's a reason to change. Then I said, bring it. What would I be if I didn't practice what I believed? Psssh. Let's begin. This is episode 10. I call it Ain't Skeer'D. Welcome to the C Word Podcast. I'm Semaj, and I greet you in the love and the light of the Infinite Creator. Don't let the name fool you. The C, as you will find, is all about you. What we desire to do here is create a conversation around my book, The C Word, and some of the principles behind it, to lead you, the seeker, on a journey. A journey of freedom. Freedom from limiting thoughts, borrowed beliefs, and false perceptions. A journey of self-truth. If you're already on a path, then it's to help bring clarity on the journey. I've walked the path. I can help you identify the walls you built and the ruts that you're in, and give you some tools to create a new life. I'm a hands-on healer of energy and light, teacher of my own integrative flow technique. I'm a student of the universal law of one, and a certified life coach, helping you to get clear your direction. I'm called father, husband, grandfather, Sifu, and guru. I'm on this journey with you. We are one. My desire is to live this quote, which simply says, the best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Let's begin. So yeah, welcome you guys. This is a little bit of a change. I wanted to say that beginning that I was telling you about with fear creeping up on me is a true story, and I think people need to know that just because people show up on TV and in podcasts and they talk about all these other things, that they're not immune to the things that we talk about. And all those fears that we were talking about in the last episode, they come around for me just like they do for everybody else. I wanted to change some things up with the podcast, and that fear jumped up. Was like, okay, what podcast? Everything that could possibly be negative jumped in my head. But as I explained in the last episode, you have to embrace it, the change, and overcome the fear and realize that fear is what it is. And one of the suggestions that came to me was, a lot of people have your book, and we know that the podcast is centered around your book. So do your book. And that just made all kinds of sense to me, especially after I reviewed what I wrote about fear. So I'm actually going to read from my book this episode. I might go past fear, I might not. But if you haven't read the book, then this will be an introduction. If you have, this will be your audible version of the C word. This particular chapter is titled Dropping the F-Bomb. Fear, the original F word. The number one killer of everything we have never seen in our lives. Never seen because the people who could have created them let some form of fear creep in and steal their what-ifs, steal their dreams. The athletes around the world who hold no medals, performers across the globe who will never step on a stage, people with the knowledge to change the world who will remain silent because of that four-letter word fear. It's said that babies were born with only two fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Everything else is learned. The fear response is necessary for our own protection and self-preservation. Fear causes a physiological response in our bodies that prepares us to fight or flee. It is a natural response and ends when the danger is past. When the danger is real, the fear response is helpful. When the fear is perceived but not real, irrational in other words, our body's responses can end up working against us and over time causing physical harm. I'm not just speaking in the therapist mode here. I've experienced in my own life the physical effects of fear and have walked the deliberate journey of right-sizing fear, keeping it in its place. My goal is to plant seeds of curiosity that will lead you and others to take the same deliberate journey. Irrational fear can be overcoming. My own experience with irrational fear comes from almost 50 years of living with them and over 35 years of coaching people in my holistic healing practice. Two things are certain. How you currently view the world plays a huge role in what you fear the most. And fear can kill you if it becomes the lens through which you view the world. Let's look at these statistics. In a 2005 Gallup poll in the U.S., a national sample of adolescents between the ages of 13 and 17 were asked what they feared the most. The question was open-ended, and participants could say whatever they wanted. The top 10 fears were, in order: terrorist attacks, spiders, death, being a failure, war, criminal or gang violence, being alone, the future, and nuclear war. In an estimate of what people fear the most, book author Bill Tanzer analyzed the most frequent online queries that involve the phrase fear of, following the assumption that people tend to seek information on the issues that concern them the most. His top 10 list of fears, published in 2008, consisted of flying, heights, clowns, intimacy, death, rejection, people, snakes, failure, and driving. The fear I hear expressed the most often from my clients and people in general is the one I believe to be one of the most dangerous and illogical. It is the fear of the unknown. Trust me, I get it. Some phobias are pretty weird. Real. Spiders, check. High places, check. Deep water that you can't see the bottom of, check and check. Those things are real and scary. But let's take a closer look at this unknown thing. If you were asked to define the word unknown without using your Google app, your gut would tell you something like it's something that people don't know. Maybe you think it's undefinable. How about this? The unknown can be anything that could happen or could be created in the realm of undefinable and infinite possibilities. However, it is also true that we don't know what the unknown is until it becomes the known. At that very moment, it's no longer the unknown. My point is, there are way too many people living in an open world of endless possibilities who are being sequestered by a fear that simply, by its own definition, should not exist. If the unknown is anything that could happen or could be created in a realm of undefinable and infinite possibilities, then by definition, we have an infinite number of opportunities to create a positive outcome. I like this acronym. False evidence appearing real. I said it in the last episode. The challenge in leading people out of this state of fear is not necessarily facing the fear, but finding the subconscious reason that the fear has become real and uncovering the lie that is buried underneath. Like the people chained to the wall of the cave, if your reality has been influenced by what you've been told or what's been represented to you, then yes, everything you fear may seem to be real. But if you know from some unexplained feeling deep inside of you that there's something more, you need to trust that feeling and find a way to connect with someone or something that has been unchained. You need to know that they are probably looking for you just as much as you are seeking them. Keep on asking and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking and you will find. Keep on knocking and the door will be open to you. The journey of seeking and finding the truth, of challenging your existing thought processes and beliefs can be exciting. It can also be painful as you break free from limiting thoughts and become more and more enlightened. You will, however, know that it's real when the desire for truth is fulfilled. Trust the guiding spirit within you. It doesn't know fear. It only knows truth and love. And its desire is for you to experience both truth and love at their fullest. But you get to choose. What do you do now? You have permission to drop the F-bomb. Let yourself experience, or at least look at life without the chains, without the fear of the non-existent unknown. You can now choose the growing pains of becoming free, or you can choose to stay locked in the pain of mental, physical, and emotional chains. One pain is temporary. The other, well, it's temporary too. It just ends when you're finally dead, chained to the wall, like the rest of the unlived and unexplored lives beside you. You see, fear has a proving ground. There are people around you that you can find if you want to, that have gone through some of the exact same fears that you're holding yourself back with. That's when you ask questions. That's when you ask for help. Yes, there are rational fears. There are things definitely to be afraid of. And there are irrational fears that won't go away. You don't believe me? Ask my wife how many spiders she's killed for me. I get it. But if your life is being held hostage by any kind of fear of what someone will say, the fear of what everybody else will think, I give you permission. See, sometimes people are fearful that they just can't do things. So I'm giving you permission to drop the F-bomb twice. F, fear. Try it. Something scares you? F, fear. And step into it. And you might find out that you feared nothing for no reason. I think it's worth the try. Right? Let's do this. With that, till next time, this is Semaj. I leave you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator. Go forth, therefore, with no fear, and rejoice in the power and the peace of the one infinite Creator. Namaste. That wraps it up for today's episode. I appreciate you all for listening and watching this podcast. It matters to me. If you'd like to go deeper on any topic, I urge you to use the links in the description of this podcast. There you can find links to my book, The C Word. You can also find these episodes on my YouTube channel under Semaj Ramal, Man at the Top of the Mountain. Also, check out the A Great New You website, where we offer courses to help you become a great new you. I love interacting with you. As a life coach, I've left 2 more links here for connection calls. I'll have 30-minute connections and 1-hour personal coaching connections via phone or Zoom. All to let you know that you don't have to seek out the answers or move forward alone. If you're getting value from this show or have feedback, feel free to reach out to me at semaj@agreatnewyou.com or leave us a rating here. Thanks for listening. Namaste.